Hi, I'm Ray Bay.
And I'm Gianna Brene.
And this is BAETALK.
So this is BAETALK. We're going to get into the hot, juicy topics.
Talking from single to dating life to marriage.
And of course, being a boss executive.
Yeah. But I need a drink. Can you pour me up? You know, they say Moet get you.
I heard.
That's what they say.
That's what they say. That ain't what I say.
That's what they say. That ain't what I say.
I'm not even sure if that be happening, but that's just what they say.
Thank you.
All right. Cheers to BAETALK.
Cheers. So we're going to get into some juicy hot topics today. This is the segment where we talk about what's trending currently in today's media. So what's new, babe?
So did you see that TikTok just went black?
Big.
I damn near crashed. I crashed out.
I know you did. See, I'm not really on TikTok like I am, and I have a lot of followers and a lot of attention on TikTok, but I don't typically tune into TikTok like that.
To me, when TikTok went black, I felt like they took away our Google. They took away all the information I need to know. They took away all my health benefits, because that's where I go to get all the natural remedies and all my new ideas. So I don't know about you, but TikTok, I couldn't wait for it to get back.
Yeah, I think it was exciting. I think it was just a media stunt. I always felt like it would come back.
Yeah.
Because it's like something that everyone's doing. Like, you're just going to take it away. That's not, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I just feel like them taking away TikTok was just taking away a part of me. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, they took it away for like 10 hours.
That was too much.
Okay.
That was way too much. Because I went home late that night and I was like, funny. Ain't nothing funny. I scroll on Instagram. It damn near gave me an aneurysm. Nothing was funny. I was like, and I kept opening up the app every 5 minutes. I kept opening up the app, and I'm like, it's done. It's crashed out. It's gone.
I know. I can see that's very devastating for most people.
It broke my heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's new with you, babe? What's new?
Well, we're going to get into Sherelle being a mean girl.
Yeah, I seen how she did Stoney.
Yeah, so if y'all have watched Wags to Riches, it is on Netflix. It just premiered last week.
Yeah.
And Sherelle is getting a little bit of clapback for being a mean girl. So for me, we've always seen her in the other show, Selling Tampa. You didn't really see too much of her personality, I would say. It was hidden by like selling houses, basically.
Right.
So this one is a little bit different, where you can actually see their personality. And for me, I don't think she was it comes off mean, but I don't think she was being.
You don't think she was being mean?
She was being mean a little bit.
I feel like with Sherelle, she was being a bit insensitive, because yes, Stoney had a pass, but when they asked her, you don't have no videos of you, your man, she's like, oh, I don't believe so. Girl, you know you have videos on your phone with you and your man.
Yeah, but they haven't been released.
Yeah.
But I do see, because I'm also a boss, and what I'm doing, I typically probably wouldn't hang out with someone and put that person in my circle. She makes millions of dollars.
Understood.
Yeah, so they're judging you already by who you hang with. We're already judged by being a black woman. We're already judged by just being black. You're already judged by just being a woman, regardless of what color you are.
Then you add money on top of being a beautiful black woman. Yeah.
So I see where Sherelle is coming from. Like, anybody can't just sit with me.
But you know, I see where Sherelle is coming from, but at the same time, when I was watching it, I just felt like she was judging Stoney really based on her past. Like, yes, because you've made a video before with your significant other. So don't judge her off of that. Okay, yes, she got what it was, $50 million.
I don't know how much she got, but it was
a lot
enough.
of money. And then Sherelle personally felt like she invested it the wrong way. So I feel like don't judge her off of that, but I do get who you run in circles with is who people judge you by.
Right. So in that sense, I understand, like, you're just not going to be open arms. Oh, hey girl, you come sit with us. Yeah. Like, no.
She was really on some you can't sit with me energy.
Right. But like when you reach a certain level, everyone can't sit with you. And it's kind of unapologetic, but
no, that's
just what it is.
And plus, when you're on a certain level, your mindset changes and you have to protect just your demeanor and the way you present yourself from a lot of things. So
right. And then too, if you've watched it like fully through, she ends up helping her with her business. Right. So she was like, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have judged you like that. So she does, eventually goes in and tells her, I shouldn't have judged you like that. Let me try to help you with your business. And to me, Stoney didn't really take to her helping her with her business.
Yeah, because she can take constructive criticism.
Right. And so that's where I feel like, yeah, Sherelle, she comes off mean and stern, but you got to realize she was in the military.
Yeah.
Like, she ain't taking no crap from people. She done already did that most of her life. So why would I invite you to my circle?
I feel like Stoney should have took on her advice. Because if you want to be a winner, you have to run with actual winners.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Do you guys think that Sherelle was being a mean girl, or did she just judge Stoney too quickly? Because you know what they say, you never judge a book by its cover until you read it.
That's true.
What do you think?
But I don't let everybody sit with me. So...
Yeah,
and I'm not mean. I don't let everyone sit with me. Like,
I'm
that's
not
just...
gonna lie. Like, I kind of have a... RBF face, but I can't do with no dusties. I can't do dusties.
Right. So
that could be a female or a male. I can't do it.
Right.
So
I think she came off stern, but that could be looked at as mean, but she definitely, I think she had a right to do what she needed to do.
Yeah,
to protect her business and how she looks in camera.
For sure.
So our next segment is BAETALK. This is where we get into
dating,
single life, marriage, all that. The tough topics that we don't want to talk about, we're definitely getting into. We're going
to get into it.
Real deep.
Deep.
Very uncomfortable conversations, but there's stuff that needs to be had, especially with our community.
Especially this generation.
This generation, yes.
But yeah. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
So I'm the single one. I don't have any kids. Not plan on getting married no time soon.
And I'm married. I have one little boy who's 3 years old. I've been married for 5 years. Been with my husband for 10 years total.
But yeah, I don't have any kids, but I have 3 god kids, so that works. That's good enough right now.
I feel you, because it's definitely tough. So let's get into the first topic that we got from our Instagram stories when we weighed in to see what y'all wanted to hear and discuss.
Yeah, so we had some people on our Instagram send in some questions that they want us to discuss with you guys. And one of the questions are how women in relationships expressing themselves are looked at like they're just addressing an issue and they're being strong, versus while men sometimes are seen as being too sensitive for doing the same. So let's tap into that. What do you think about that?
Well, I discussed this topic with my husband, and he says that I do this, but I don't think I do. And he did not give me an example on how I do this. But since he brought it to my attention, that is something that I'm going to work on, and I'm going to catch myself when I do it.
Okay.
Do you think you do that?
I mean, I don't think I do that. I just feel like it just depends on how. If the man is crying and doing the most. I just feel like as a man, you're supposed to come off a certain way. Like, you can express yourself, but I'm big on, it's not what you say, but how you say it and how you address me. If you want me to address you in a certain way or cater to your emotions in a certain way, then address me correctly. But I'm all for like catering to my man's emotion, because at the end of the day, he is a man, but I have to remind myself that he's still human and he has feelings. So
right. Yeah, I think it's definitely how you portray an issue to someone. Whether you're portraying it where it's judgmental, just certain things. It depends on like what the issue is per se. So I think a lot of men have issue, like my husband, it would be how I dress sometimes. Like, I'm top heavy, so certain outfits may look a bit much, but they're always going to look a bit much depending on what is going on. So sometimes when he says it to me, it doesn't come off in a loving way, so I may be a little bit more combative. I
feel like he could say, you know, baby, you look good, but wear that just with me, or wear that when you're with me, versus in a controlling way. Well, I don't want you to wear this, take that off, change your clothes. Like, I just feel like for me, that's too controlling, and that's one of the reasons why I'm not too quick on trying to get married.
I feel you.
Can do the controlling, but
yeah, I think it's definitely, when you're married, it's definitely a respect level that you have to have. Like, you still have to have your own sense of style as well, but okay, tone it down. Like, I'm not going to wear nothing where my nipples are showing out or my butt crack. You know, like, I'm not doing that. But, like, I think it's hard, too, for men to understand that clothes fit how they fit, you know, and I can't wear a turtleneck because my boobs are big, you know.
And I feel like sometimes men, with the clothing aspect, they need to understand that as women, we still have to keep our sex appeal. You know, I don't want to wear a turtleneck or anything like that. But I still want to be sexy.
Right.
Can't make a turtleneck sexy.
I mean, you can make a turtleneck sexy.
Maybe a little micro skirt, but then that's the problem.
Yeah. So I think it's just a balance, for sure.
Right.
Our next question is, should a man have to pay his girl's bills when staying in separate houses?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't either. I think it depends on what kind of man you're dealing with.
What caliber of man you're dealing with.
Right. Like, what's his financial situation? Because you can't expect a man who has his own bills to pay all of your house bills too.
I feel like if you're dealing with a man that has a 9-to-5 and he's trying to make ends meet and y'all live separately, he don't need to be paying your bills. That's just too much, because it's just too much.
It's definitely too much. Like, I've been married and I've been with my husband for so long. Like, we just didn't, that's just not something.
So wait, do y'all go 50-50 or?
So when we first got together, this is when we're moving out of our parents' house together. This is our first time moving out of our parents' house, both of us. So it was 50-50. But he paid all the other bills too. I just had to worry about half of the rent.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then even with that, he helped start Lash Tag as well.
Okay. So he invested in you.
A lot.
That's good.
A lot.
See, a lot of men don't have that mindset.
Yeah.
But I feel like for me, let's just say I'm dating a guy and we live separate. He don't got to pay my bills. Like, you can spoil me, you can buy me certain things, focus on taking me on a date, but you don't have to pay my bills. Because let's just say one day he wants to marry me, then we can bring our stuff together and he can save up his money and invest in stuff like that. But a man don't have to pay my bills. Just focus on spoiling me, baby. Don't pay my bills.
Yeah, and I think it takes away a sense of independence too, a little bit. Yeah. Especially if y'all aren't engaged, y'all not, what are you doing? Because then you're going to be dependent on him paying your rent every month. And then what if he say, I ain't got it, or I'm not doing it, you know?
Yeah, I know I was dating this guy one time, And he was joking around and he was like, you know, can I have the keypad to your house? So I was like, which bill you trying to pick up? And it better be the rent. But other than that, I don't need no man paying my bills.
It causes chaos. Now,
Yeah,
how do you feel?
And then he's going to feel like he has some type of control over me. Because we're just dating. And then you feel like, oh, I pay your rent. I pay your car note. So this, that, and the third. No, we not doing that, baby.
He gonna pop up.
Yeah, and I don't got time for that. We grown. You're not dealing with them little YNs over here.
Yeah. And also, too, how do you feel about dating now that you have your own place versus just living under someone, you know?
Honestly, I love being single. I love living in my own place. I feel like it's a huge sense of independence. I call it my little tree house.
Yeah, it's cute too.
Honestly, I love being single. I love being able to know that I got it. I got me. That I don't have to depend on a man. I think that's another thing nowadays in this generation. A lot of the younger ladies and a lot of women, they have this mindset that a man needs to pave my way. A man needs to pay for my things. And I feel like it's too much dependency on a man versus going out and getting it yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think too, like, it's definitely, I feel like you can date better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You can date more freely.
Yeah. You don't, you know, you don't have to worry about all the extra stuff. Like, you could just cut him off.
Yeah, you don't gotta worry that, oh, this phone bill ain't gonna get paid, or my rent not gonna get paid if I cut him off. Baby, just cut him off. If he not doing what needs to be done, cut him off.
For sure.
You don't even need to worry about the bill. You gotta know that I got my rent covered. I got my car note covered. I got my rent covered. I got my car note covered. And I don't gotta worry about him. I don't need to keep him around because, oh my God, how am I gonna pay my rent? No. If he toxic, drop him.
Right.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, and I think too, that's why a lot of women stay in certain situations knowing it's not good for them because they can't go anywhere, or they're not dependent on their own, or they don't have their credit together to where they can go and just get an apartment. Because I even know with your situation, like how you left your long-term relationship, like you was able to just go get your apartment.
Yeah.
Like, bye.
And that's another thing, like when you, so I was in a long-term relationship, you know, and we had a house together, but I didn't feel the need that I needed to go half on a mortgage. And I feel like that was one of the issues within that situation. So luckily I didn't go half on a mortgage, because when that situation happened, I was able to go out and get my own apartment. And baby, I was riding around in a Maserati. You couldn't tell me nothing. So that's another factor of not depending on a man. My car note was still going to be paid. I didn't have to downgrade my car. I just had to change my living situation. But see, when you depend on a man, you might have to downgrade your lifestyle. And I ain't doing that, especially not for no man.
Exactly. Yeah, I think I'm very proud of you because you've came such a long way. Like, people don't know that you don't have your parents here. They're not in reach. They're not even in the country.
No.
You know what I mean? So it's like, it's harder for you. And so when I see people have all these excuses as to why they can't do, like, you can do it. You can get your stuff together. If you're not in a healthy situation, and leave. If ain't no ring on that finger and y'all ain't going to counseling trying to work that out, leave, because you're wasting your time. And then you end up pregnant, and now what? Now what?
Now you got a baby daddy. No child support. Anyway. But yeah.
Yeah. So I'm very proud of you for that.
Thank you. I feel like I came such a long way with that. Yeah, you just have to be self-made. I feel like the whole gist of it is, if you're in a relationship and y'all living separate, he don't gotta pay your bills. Focus on yourself. Make your money so you don't gotta focus on him. And if push come to shove and y'all gotta break up, you good, baby. That's it.
Yeah. All right, so our next topic, we're going to be getting into boss ass executive. This is basically what BAE stands for us. We're going to talk about business topics, if y'all have any issues with salon services, barbershop services, just food services, anything like that, like here locally, we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, send it into Bay Court. Send in your
Period.
Bay mail, and we going to talk about it. Get them right.
Right. So we're going to start off with a little bit about ourselves first. So, Ray, how'd you get into lashing?
So actually, I have my full esthetician license when I was 18. Gianna actually used to do my lashes. She was my lash tech. And I came in one day. She know I'm like this artsy person, this hands-on type of person. So she's like, have you ever tried doing lashes? And I was like, no, never was interested. Never thought about it. So she was like, you should try to do lashes. She was like, you know what, come in, bring a model, and I'll train you on how to do lashes. So she trained me. I did my first classic set within 3 hours with little to no mistakes, right?
Yeah, no, you were really good.
Yeah, it was like I was a natural. So fast forward to 10 years later, I'm here, a pro lash artist. I worked a 9 to 5. And I would have my lash bed in my trunk. I'll literally do 7 to 5. I'll have 3 clients after work. I'll drive to their houses, have to reset up, and that's how I make my money. And then she opened up Lash Tag, which we will get into, and I built my clientele from there. So what about you? How did you start your business with lashes?
Yeah, so I was working as a pharmacy tech at first for CVS. I made $9. But my real passion was beauty. My mom made me go to school to be like something in the medical field, but like I was not good at school. So I don't know why she thought that was going to be for me, but it definitely was not for me. I always knew that I would be somewhere in the beauty industry. It was actually very tough for her to even pay for my schooling for beauty. But eventually what I did was I purchased a makeup kit for the money I was making from pharmacy, which is very little, like $200 every 2 weeks. Real struggle.
You was passionate.
Yeah, I was passionate. So I took that money and I was going to show her. I was like, I'm going to just show you. So I started booking weddings like a month after I got the makeup kit. I was booking weddings, doing makeup. Then I was like, okay, I'm going to go to beauty school. And my mom was like, okay, I'll let you go to beauty school since you're really taking it serious.
So she believed just a little bit.
A little bit.
Okay.
It took some convincing. So then after that, went to beauty school, still doing pharmacy tech. They raised me to $9.25 a year later.
Couldn't survive off of that.
Right. Well, mind you, this was 10 years ago too.
Right.
So, but still, you can't survive off of that.
No.
So after I went to beauty school, I took a lash class because lashes was something that I really wanted to do. I was doing like clustered lashes, but mink lash extensions was something new that was happening. And I want to say I was one of the first ones doing it. I was 19 at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about 19 at the time. Yeah,
you're 19 because I was 18. Yeah.
I was working under someone else, booth renting. I ended up teaching the girls that I went to school with, and you, of course, took y'all, opened up the shop. Y'all really been working with me.
And now we have Lash Tag.
Ever since, yeah. So my main goal when opening up the business, like when I was looking to work, there were no salons to work out of.
Especially no black-owned salons.
Yeah, not with lashes.
Yeah.
And that was my main thing. I wanted somewhere where you could walk in and get a service, and it's us. You know, of course, we know we like everyone, but it's just a different vibe. Like, it's not just one race that you see working here. You see all kinds. You know what I mean? And you can communicate. Yeah. It's just better. It's a vibe. So I'm so happy that my dreams actually came true. It was a struggle.
Yeah, I feel like in this industry it's always an up and down flow. We have good months, we have bad months, good weeks, bad weeks, but it's definitely worth it, for sure.
For sure worth it. Yeah.
And I think like with me, for a long time I tried to steer away from getting to the beauty industry because my mom is a cosmetologist for over 20 years. And I remember as a little girl, like I would always sit in a salon. I was like, when I get older, I do not want to sit in a salon ever again. So as soon as I graduated high school, I got my esthetician license. And honestly, that's what really helped me. That's what really paved the way for me. For everything that I said I wanted in life, my upgrade in life was because of the skills that I have with lashes. And thankfully, I met Gianna. And that's what got the wheels turning. So initially, I never wanted to do anything in the beauty industry, but here I am now, 10 years later, and
you really thriving for real.
Yeah, I don't regret it. And even when I was doing lashes, when I got off of work, I was in the medical field. So it was either beauty or medical. And I just stuck with the beauty because that's what resonated and what stuck with me naturally.
Yeah, and you're naturally smart too. Like you have your bachelor's degree.
Thank you.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I will say, like, just seeing you grow from when you was 18 and seeing you now, like, you really took heed to like my advice that I was giving you because you was kind of like my little wild child. You was in and you was out, but you was more out than you was in.
And I came back. Like one day I was working with eyes. I was at work and the lady, she did some shiesty stuff, but we can tap into that at another time. And they knew that I got off at 4 p.m. to go do lashes. So I feel like she was being a little hater. So she pulled me into her office. She was like, you know what? I feel like you should walk 2 feet into your potential, into what you want to be. So I told her, I said, look, people have other plans in life, and just because you feel like they should do it, that don't mean they have to put 2 feet in. And at the time, I was 1 foot in and 1 foot in my 9 to 5 because I needed to make ends meet for my bills, realistically. So anyway, fast forward to her being, I'm not gonna say it, but fast forward to her being how she was being, I ended up getting fired from that job. And literally the same day I got fired, I came here back to Lash Tag because I worked here before when she originally opened up, but it was off of commission. And that's when, like she said, I was a little wild child. I was falling around the wrong company, and we gonna tap into that on our next episode, running with winners. So anyway, running with the wrong crowd. And so I came here and I was like, you know, I just got fired from my job. She's like, you know, we don't do commission no more. It's booth rent. I said, that's fine. How much is the booth rent? She told me how much it was. And I literally sat here from 10 a.m. to close, and I rebuilt my clientele. Whether I be picking up the phone, it'll be days I came here, no clients. But that's just a part of being a boss-ass executive. So I really grind for where I'm at right now, and it doesn't stop. I don't feel like the sky is the limit. So that's basically my backstory on lashes and how I got here.
Yeah, and I love that for you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so our next segment that we're getting into is BAE Mail. If you guys have any advice that you want us to give you, please send in to BAETALK101@gmail.com. And this could be any advice from relationships to marriage to business, anything like that. Yeah, so let us know. What's up?
And then we also have BAE Court. So fake names, real scenarios. So send in your situation, send in the evidence so we can see if they're guilty or not.
Right, so if you have any issues with a salon or hairstylists having issues with clients, send it in, let us see those screenshots, and we'll decide whether you were right or wrong.
And we will see you on our next episode at BAE Court.
I recognize your fragrance, hold up, you ain't never gotta say shit, and I know your taste is a little bit, high maintenance, everybody else basic, you live life on an everyday basis, with poetic justice, trusted, I